Hello, everybody. Welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be a twin flame reading. And so last night I had a massive purge and clearing of some negative emotions. And so it kind of come in like a tsunami, like a tidal wave last night, late yesterday after dinner around evening time. And so after that huge purge, I came into all kinds of downloads as to where the masculine collective is at and the feminine. And so I did want to jump on and share that with you all today before I jump into a day of client readings. And so there's a lot of paying attention to the details, right? A lot of details, and we manifest through our feelings and our thoughts, right? And so caution and patience, I think, is what is warranted in the energies right now. A lot of detail, right? And so when we pay attention to the details, that's when we can figure out a way to break free from these limitations, right? And so it's the fixing of the foundations is what came through. And so another message that kept coming through over the last couple of days is the Noah's Ark energy, right? And so we're here to keep letting people know that the flood is coming and to keep building the ark, which is basically like the Ark of the Covenant. And so with the Libra energy, the Mott energy, the balance energy coming in, I feel the feminine's ability to transcend routine. You know, we get stuck in this fine detailed routine, right? And sometimes routine can become a little bit boring, right? And so this is where we transition from these cycles of power struggles and drama, right? And so the quiet, simple life really isn't boring. It's just kind of drama free. And when you've lived a life filled with drama, when there's no drama, it can feel a little bit boring, right? And so the feminine's ability to kind of organize all of these cosmic details through the realm of fantasy, of dreaming this into being, I feel is really highlighting the masculine's rebellion at this time. A lot of the divine masculines have wasted an enormous amount of time and energies ignoring this higher calling, this clarion call. And so all of these restraints and restrictions are saying it's time for you to comply to the higher calling. It's time for you to master that discipline. And I do feel with Saturn moving through Pisces, this is the discipline to stop self-sacrificing, to stop playing the victim, right? Pisces is really, really good at playing the martyr, playing the victim, and because it is such a mutable sign. And so Pisces is a very intellectual energy, I feel, too, when it comes to creating a sense of like restlessness with all of this chaos, creating extreme anxiety. And so I do feel the masculine is being faced with this new discovery is kind of what I was shown. And he's looking at the feminine as this spiritual genius, right, for these unusual energies. And so the feminine really has harnessed her psychic abilities when it comes to discovering these downloads, these valuable insights of information that are coming forward when it comes to her detailed work, and bring these new innovative applications of esoteric knowledge towards the collective. And so a lot of the feminines have unusual psychic gifts, and we're here to express these valuable insights that we've gained along the journey. And so the more the feminine steps into her mission work, the more this creates an overwhelming sense, I feel, of dissatisfaction for the counterpart. Because they've been so focused on like the Capricorn aspect, the monetary aspect, and they're in this state of monotony right now when it comes to working. And so it's this revelation that they missed out on something of great importance and value by running and shunning and blocking the divine feminine. And so I do feel this desire to make their life aesthetically pleasing to the status quo of society has created this withdrawal from the feminine. I feel all the feminine wants to pursue right now is harmony and simplicity in her life. She wants to protect herself from any outside dangers or forces. And I feel right now the feminine's in pursuit of her inner meaning, her inner life, right? And so any outward details when it comes to the feminine at this point in time, I feel really aren't being super expressed. And so I feel the feminine's in a period of isolation and reflection right now, leading up to the full moon in Libra. And so this is creating the urge to take action on the masculine's end of the connection, because he really didn't establish his true spiritual values the first time around, and now he's facing all kinds of restrictions and feeling restrained by that karmic circumstance. And so I do feel this is going to lead the masculine into a state of withdrawal. And, you know, he's waited, tried to pay attention to the details. I feel he's very disorganized, and he's been waiting, trying to strategize. But I do feel he is in a state of metamorphosis of some sort. And I feel we're at the pivot point when the feminine is about to achieve this excellence, is what it felt like. And so action is kind of necessary right now. And so right now, this metamorphosis of seeking is kind of happening through this dramatic, chaotic karmic cycle that the masculine's kind of been entangled in, demanding it to be kind of unraveled at this time. And so the masculine is being asked to reach out to the feminine. And I do feel the Libra moon energy is going to move the masculine from a state of darkness to eventually stepping fully into the light of the divine feminine, right? The polarity of the two energies. And so I do feel an energy of completion, but completion cannot come full circle until the masculine takes action and expresses his truth as part of this metamorphosis. So it's like kind of similar to like going to AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, and when you go through those 12 steps, and there's 12 houses on the ascension ladder, so to speak, you have to go through each of those houses and make amends and learn those lessons over again if you've not mastered, you know, integrating those lessons and those energies and self-discipline attached to that. And so I feel the feminine is on the pathway to a lot of material successes and abundance. And the feminine understands that this material success and manifestation of this is going to be dependent on the full expression of her authenticity. And so the masculine's got all of these skills, but not the discipline to succeed, is kind of what it feels like. And so there's a lot being channeled through these very intense energies to get us to a place of acceptance. 808, kind of like the SOS call, right? SOS. I remember in the beginning of my awakening, I remember tapping into Nibiru. And those of you that go down rabbit holes, I'm sure the planet X or Nibiru is really going to resonate with you. I think of like Generation X, kind of like we're the X-Men of the ascension journey. So I've been really drawn to the Marvel, Disney energy and how the two kind of collaborate together. But I feel the feminine's in this acceptance and understanding of her logical gifts and how to help others tap into theirs. And so right now, the masculine is being asked, I feel, to address this very complicated situation that he's created with clear and concise communication. And so I feel there's a lot of increased outside opinions kind of putting their nose in the masculine's business. And the masculine, I feel, is still like not talking, is what it feels like. And so there's this increased collective receptivity, I feel, going on. And so we can't avoid the embarrassing, humiliating endings that a lot of us have to go through on this journey. There could have been a recent blurting out of facts or details that maybe the masculine didn't want to come to the surface. I feel like a lot of exposure. And there's a lot of people, like, I feel like in shock, like this shock value energy. And so the quality of everybody's opinion really is only going to be dependent on, you know, if the other person can grasp the facts being presented to them. And so, and not every fact is equal, right? There's your truth, there's my truth, and then there's that absolute truth, right? And so my truth might not be your truth, but we might find a truth in each other's truths, right? And so I do feel right now the masculine's being asked to properly restructure his foundation of his inner truth in the energies. And so I feel the gateway of mystical, esoteric memory is coming forward, and the potential of reaching that inner truth really is in the silence, in the solitary energy that we have to go through as part of this metamorphosis. And so there is a lot of occult knowledge coming into the collective awareness. We're all kind of tapping into our own natural psychic gifts of empowerment. And so there's a lot of universalization of like synergy is what it was looking like and feeling like in the energies. And there's this pressure, I feel, for many wanting to know the mysteries of the esoterics. And this is why I think I'm going to start putting together and offering a masterclass of, you know, master your own birth chart, along with learning the tarot and how to holistically approach tarot to improve your love life and all of your relationships. And so we are here at a soul level, I feel, to rely a little bit on this secret knowledge, but we can't be demanding, right? Is what it feels like. And so this pressure to know the mysteries, I feel, is very, very strong surrounding the masculine. And I don't know that he's capable of handling all of the esoteric realities that I feel are being bombarded within his conscious reality right now. And so he's looking at the feminine in this state of natural brilliance is what I'm feeling. He's looking at the feminine as so gifted in a position where she's like far out of reach from the masculine. She's this very powerful, feminine, nourishing influence. And I feel, you know, she's free of all of the past gunk and baggage. And right now I do feel the feminine is very much powerfully attractive in these energies. And so the feminine has a gift to inspire energies in others, a gift to inspire the light in others. And this is very attractive and beneficial to the collective. And I feel that the masculine had that early recognition of the feminine's influence, but his ego became so obsessed with delusions. And so I do feel this exceedingly difficult energy for the truth to come to light. And that will mean that the masculine will have to stand alone in that light of truth. And that is also a part of integrating the lesson of interdependency within relationships, because the feminine has this natural ability to establish relationships. And the feminine comes into many people's lives to bring forward the actualization of that truth. And so it is through the feminine's nurturing protective powers that she is here to ensure the stable foundations for the future. The feminine is here to ensure that these healthy relationship environments can continue to grow. And so this pressure is going to be enhanced at the lack of collaboration on the masculine's part. And so the masculine, I feel, has this abundance of energy right now within him, is what it felt like last night. And like I was like, boom, I was taken to my knees for a good hour there. And it was interesting. During that breakdown for the breakthrough, I did notice the ascendant was in Virgo and the fall was in Pisces. And so I'm a Pisces rising. So there was an overwhelming amount of Piscean ocean of emotions kind of washing over the collective last night. And so I feel the masculine is in possession of this truth now. And he has reached that divine Y point where he needs to leave certain people behind. And if he doesn't, he's going to be crushed by this resistance. And so all of this is because he forsaked the relationship with the feminine. And so I feel this rabbit hole researching energy. I feel this concentrated rabbit hole energy of exploring the depths of his inner truth right now. Figuring out his own fundamental principles and the pressure to know what those are so we can expand beyond what doesn't work and we can integrate into these leadership positions for the future. And so I feel there's a lot of confusion as all of this diversity kind of crumbles and comes to an end, and that illusion of that safe collaboration in the karmic has really highlighted the negative father aspects in the masculine's life. And so the feminine has come into some type of enlightenment, I feel, recently when it comes to a father figure in their life who maybe overly asserted themselves. And so this is a generational influence that has been molded throughout our family lineage, right? And so I do feel as the feminine comes into this enlightened energy of what a true father figure should be, even though she probably understood what a true father should be by having a father that didn't represent that. It's broken all of the illusions in the feminine's life is what I'm feeling. And so there is this energy I feel where the cosmic aspects are kind of enforcing this compliance on the masculine's part to ensure these lasting unions and the positive influences that they're going to bring into humanity. And so this pressure to resist these challenges, I feel, has led the masculine down a pathway of a lot of bitterness and resentment. And so it's like bringing it to the court, bringing it to God's courtroom, and putting in that appeal is kind of what it felt like. And so as the feminine reaches this profound state of alignment and attunement, I feel the collective is being lured to this truth, this clarity. And so the masculine, relied on these karmic cliches. And so I feel this new level of energy is coming in. And let's face it, when you're awake and others are not, it doesn't matter what you say. It always falls on deaf ears, right? If they are in a state of delusion. And so this pressure is creating this unraveling energy, bring forward absolute twin flame recognition for the divine masculine is kind of what it feels like. And we all know that we have unique insights and gifts. And sometimes we got to wait for the right time to express those. And a lot of times we have to feel liberated enough to express that. And so when we know that we're here to inspire and empower others to activate them as part of their mutation energy, and to give is to receive, right? To give is to feel empowered. And so right now the collective mind is shifting from the 3D reality into these higher realities, but we kind of got to swim through the sea of the collective fourth dimension before reaching that higher state. And so there's a lot of intense pressure. All of the unknown hauntings of the past are coming forward, creating confusion and delusion, which is leading to a deep state, I feel, of uncertainty and anxiety, because the secret's out is what I want to say. The secret's out. And I feel as the feminine, is just in this state of deep inner knowing, of honoring her inner truth, everything is revealing itself in unique divine timing is what it feels like. And so there's this energy behind the masculine that portrays to be this big bad beast. There is a gentle giant somewhere in there, right? And so I do feel the feminine's release has now penetrated the masculine right to the core. And so I do feel the Libra full moon is going to be the final fall, the final detriment. And these feelings can no longer be subdued or subsided or substituted for addictions, because all of this indecision will create this overpowering confusion if the masculine doesn't learn to trust in his intuition. And so it's time for that action to be taken is what I'm feeling. I feel a massive collective cleansing, and we can't keep sweeping these issues under the carpet. Well, we can. But what is that going to bring forward in your life that will add value? We can't sweep the issues under the rug. We can't avoid having those in-depth heart-to-heart conversations. The past has to be fully dealt with and healed, or we can't really fully move on to a new cycle. And so the clarity coming forward is allowing us to really get rooted in our values. And that's what that Taurus North Node energy is. What do you value? What are your ideals? Because all of those energies have to be properly established and have to also be accompanied with absolute, resolute determination to maintain them and uphold them. So it's this perfected cleansing process through this inner realization or self-actualization going on. So the masculine can go through this superficial cleansing, right? He's got all of this dirt underneath the carpet that he's laid hidden there. And the depth of the dirt of the superficiality is coming forward. And so this is about pure, perfected intelligence. Clarity will eliminate doubt. Clarity ensures manifestation, divine feminine. Are you clear on your perfected intuition? Have you reached a place of no polarity? Because I do feel like you're the director. I'm going to sneeze. You're the director, divine feminine. You are the director of this union. And so you have the capacity to show others how to build beneficial, healthy relationships. And I feel that's where the feminine is being exalted. She's mastered all of these relationship cycles through the clarity that she's gained, through the sensitivity of understanding all of her interrelationships and ensuring she reaches a state of harmony. And so the intuitive clarity that the feminine received was about mastering relationship cycles. And so the masculine, rather than staying in this position of being dictatorial, he's now being asked to be directional, okay? And so when we have the clarity to overcome these karmic relationship issues and we master these relationships, that's when we can really progress and listen to that inner quiet voice, or not, right? We all have free will. We all have a choice to establish these new forms or not. And so the feminine has maintained her powers. She's re-examined. She's re-evaluated. She's come to a place of accessing and surrendering the entire process with her intuitive gifts. And so the masculine just keeps on keeping on and being misguided, and I feel he's in for a wake-up call. Like I was shown like a missile coming in and blasting that comfort zone out of the water, because no matter how overwhelming it is to reevaluate and reassess, that's what's needed in order to progress. And so we can look for the magic in the breakdown or not, right? We can look for the silver lining or not. And so acceptance and clarity is that double-edged sword. And like that's that Queen of Swords, that double-edged sword. When we have the understanding of all of the situations we've gone through along our life journey, and we've reached a place of leadership in our life and rectification, I feel Uranus is coming in to shake things up. I feel it's going to be difficult for the masculine to kind of let go of that semi-permanent situation where maybe there was no resolution or no answers. But I do feel it's best for him to get out of that difficult situation. Or I do feel it's going to get worse. And I do feel there's a lot of anger and frustration that the karmic is trying to provoke out of the masculine at this time, which is going to lead to futile action is kind of what it feels like. And so intuition alone will not allow the masculine to solve these problems. He's going to have to make a head over heart decision. He's going to have to deal with the frustration and the anger. I feel this realm of Jupiter surrounding the masculine when we had that Mercury conjunct Jupiter. And you know, what goes up must come down. And so when we get to these states of absolute truth, we kind of have to purge the negativity attached to that absolute truth, right? The pain. And so through all of these intuitive insights and this deeper inner attunement that I feel the feminine is reaching, it is alerting the masculine to his emotional body, his psychic environments, his physical environment, what's good for him, what's not good for him, you know, what is safe, what is healthy, what is not. And so if you want something to be good for you and it's really not, then you got to listen to your intuition, right? And so I feel the masculine's on high alert. I feel he's been given that warning. He's not been listening and paying attention to his intuition. And there really is nothing to fear when it comes to tomorrow. And so I feel he's got this little instinctual hunch and little voice inside to him speaking softly saying, act, it's time to take action. And so I do feel this arousing energy of shock to redirect the masculine towards love. So right now he's in all kinds of disarray, disorder, creating this shock in order for this recognition. And I do feel Archangel Michael is working very closely with the masculine collective as kind of like a referee, forcing this re-examination of the foundation that he's built to understand the power of his ego and all of these past conditioned experiences. And why does he have this avoidant emotional attachment style? Why does he avoid dealing with these challenges? And that just highlights the weakness of his ego. And so, you know, what I want to say is a lot of these masculines thought they were too smart. They were obviously too smart for their own good, and they rejected something that was good for them, and they did it in vain. They did it in vain. They did it out of their ego. They rejected the feminine because they didn't want to face abandonment or possible defeat. And so their ego was threatened by the feminine. Bottom line, their ego was threatened, and they went into overlogical tendencies, and they couldn't recognize the value of the feminine, I feel, because of the shock of the initiation. And so I feel everything is destabilizing. I feel everything in the masculine's energy field right now is radically and unpredictably being upheaved and disturbed because of the lack of adaptation to mutate these energies. And so the ego is definitely being destabilized in these challenging times. And that is that Pluto energy saying, hey, it's time to find your pure inventiveness. It's time to get outside of that box. It's time to find your spiritual cosmic genius and to look at this opportunity, even in the midst of this devastating shock, to take action. Where is your warrior ego? Where is that inner warrior to mentally face these challenges, no matter how severe the shock is of this karmic ending? That superficial ego really did lack the emotions and the resources and the depth. And so this perfected illumination is coming forward collectively, and it is getting us into this state of seeking to the very core, is what it feels like. That perfection of the warrior ego would be the wounded healer, Chiron, right? And so the masculine's egoism has led him to a state of overwhelm, and these indulgences has led him to a huge loss, and there is a lack of victory. And so I feel the masculine is finally in a time of crisis, feeling the separation, confused, in a state of disorder, and he has succumbed to the karmic energy. And so I feel this panic, because divine will always supersede free will. And so right now the masculine is going to have to find his vitality to go it alone, to meet these challenges alone. And this is the same gift that the feminine was given, to face these challenges alone. And so this disapproving attitude, this extreme separation energy, I just want to say, has successfully broken the masculine apart from the karmic cycle. And so I do feel there's a lot of people provoking and challenging the masculine right now. And what I want to say is the witness has returned. I kept hearing this morning in the shower, can I get a witness? So can I get a witness? And that's what it's about, right? A lot of the karmics have to witness the dark night of the soul. They witness the true being of light going through this transformation. We need that witness, right? And so all of this shock is kind of backing the masculine's ego into a corner to find his spiritual will and his courage to embody what true power should be, to reach completion instead of competing. The masculine likes to compete, likes to be one step ahead of everybody. That's another thing, right? Like, you're not equally in a partnership with somebody if they're always walking ahead of you. If they're not walking beside you, then they're either behind you or ahead of you. We're here to walk each other home hand in hand beside each other as equals. And so the masculine's going to have to take a risk to go where he's not gone before in order to create a safe haven for himself again. And I do believe that is to face the feminine once and for all, and to move out of this state of complacency, to move out of this safe cocoon that has directed them in the wrong direction. So the masculine is being shifted towards a state of personal transcendence, and that does require self-love. We can't really have a love for life itself if we don't love ourselves. And so this constant competition that's around the masculine right now, I feel, is to get him to master the lower material world, to release all of these sexual arousing temptations, and to fully empower himself. And so a lot of secrets, what I do want to say, a big part of maintaining heart health on the journey is to center ourselves. To have that sense of who we are from within allows us to not play into engaging in petty little battles when we really don't need to. And so disorder, shock, confronting energy. The masculine, I feel, is being confronted by a lot of people right now, and his heart needs a break. So he might have recently had a health scare, a heart scare of some sort, and he needs to kind of take a break and recuperate before he can fully engage in the world, I feel. So seeking in the realm of spirit, and I feel he's seeking that guidance right now. So I pulled some cards after my purge last night, and I was asked to leave them on the desk, and we'll go a little bit deeper. I don't have a whole lot of time. I got to keep it on the time. I have a client book this morning. And so this was a message for the Divine Feminine. First and foremost, you need to surround yourself in some healing light. I do feel there's a wolf in sheep's clothing somewhere around you still, Divine Feminine. So be consciously aware of that. Surround yourself in healing light. I do feel the feminine went through a spiral of forgiveness again to liberate her heart from this pain. And that's what I did last night, the forgiveness. And I cut those cords, right? I cleared the unwanted memories again and the unwanted attachments. It's like I was taken right back to the start again. And so it's been about 4 years for me since I had to release that person for my own personal renewal. And so as we go through this massive purge, it does allow more light in, right? And so I feel the feminine's found a newfound spark, especially related to her work and her psychic abilities is what I'm feeling. So I feel many of the feminines, their focus right now is really developing their psychic abilities. And I do feel there was like another layer shed on the feminine's end. You might have to release some more relationships. There might be some external things in your life that need to go, but I feel the feminines really embrace this release and is really stepping into her highest purpose right now. And so that was also clarified with this sacred reverence and ears wide open. And so the sacred reverence is 11 card, 47, breaking down to 11. And so like, that's like the new hand signal. I don't know how to do it. Savvy makes me do half the heart with her all the time in bed. She does half the heart. I do the other half heart. But ultimately, it is a sacred reverence of self, right? We hold the key to heal our heart. We all have the ability to heal our own heart, and then we get the ears wide open. And so I do feel there's somebody shady around the feminine, a fox in the den. And so 33 also, for me, represents the sisterhood of the rose, the Mary Magdalene energy. And so the feminine might be coming into some advanced clairaudiency gifts at this time is kind of what it feels like for myself anyway. Reaching a state of balance too. 33 does break down to 6, a state of balance and harmony, which is also the lovers. So you might have a choice coming up here, Divine Feminine. I went deeper. So I loved it. This come out in reverse, the holding on in reverse. And so the feminine has held on, right? On the heart. We've held on to hope. We've allowed this love to grow and grow. And I feel the feminine is finally released. any hopes or thoughts of ever receiving communication from the counterpart again. I think, you know, she's released these bottled up emotions. Maybe you've even wrote a long letter, sent it to your masculine, or maybe burned it, or just wrote it and released it. But I feel the feminine has released any residual bottled up emotions, and I do feel the feminine is saying it's over. I'm going to let the sun set on this situation. I'm going to allow myself to close this cycle out with the World card. You might be thinking about going on vacation or booking a trip or traveling. I know I'm really trying to figure out how to manifest enough abundance to go to Glastonbury and the UK this summer with a few other women that I'm associated with at Sadie Hall. So that's kind of where I'm at. I want to travel. I want to see the world. I'm not going to hold on to a connection where I've been given nothing to make me believe that I should, right? 4 years, I've been waiting 4 years, and I went through that release. And so I know a lot of the feminines are in this state of it's over. I'm not holding on to this. This has to end. I can't wait to receive a message. I'm here to live my life to the fullest. And if you can't shit or get off the pot, then you just gotta leave my energy field. And so I feel a huge cord cutting. And then we got the pay attention to the details on the bottom of the deck, that Virgo energy with illumination. And so I feel the feminine's released any regret about the past. And there's that vacation. So you might be planning a vacation, Divine Feminine. I think the feminine's like, hey, I know I can't go back and erase anything from the past. I've felt it. I've healed it. I got no regrets left. I've said everything I have to say. I've put my truth out there, and I'm not going to live with any regrets, right? And so I feel the masculine's waiting for you to reach out. Well, you know what I say? No, I'm not going to chase somebody. I'm not here to be chasing anybody around, past life connection or not. And so that was also clarified with the Into Me I See, the 8 energy, which does represent spiritual strength, right? The Strength card. Into Me I See. And so that's where the feminine is at, I feel. Complete and total transparency into the depths of who you are, right? And this is illuminating the power of your purpose and the crowning of the royal you. And so I feel the feminine's in this place of uncaging her heart. She knows she's the gift. It's like that Justin Bieber song. Oh my God. You don't need a brand or whatever. How's it go? Like, you are the brand, Divine Feminine. You are the gift, right? And so this is where the feminine's at. The feminine's mastered following her intuition. And I feel by the 8-8 Lionsgate portal, abundance is yours. I think you've done it. You've manifested it. And you're coming into perfect harmony, perfect alignment of your mind, your body, and your soul. And so this is what triggers the change, right? And so what I want to say is follow the signs and the sinks. Huge lesson in financial discipline for personal growth. And spirituality isn't always about being financially abundant. Abundance comes in many forms. Abundance can just be living your best life, right? When we are emotionally fulfilled and have gratitude for the lessons and life and all of the ups and downs, that's what it means to embrace spirituality. Spirituality isn't about things always being peachy. The journey is not all rainbows and roses, that's for sure. So something about the 7-7 portal and the 8-8 portal this summer is going to be bringing in a lot of change and possibly some communication. So let's go a little bit further today, and we'll grab the Wildwood Tarot today. So 8 of Vessels. And that is the feminine, I feel, just walking away. Look at this 8 of Vessels. So the 8 of Cups. So look at this 8 of Cups. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 cups below. We have 3 cups pouring into this great big cup, the Ace of Cups. So I feel all of the cups in the third party have been spilt. I do feel that's kind of over, and the masculine is really trying to love himself. But with those 4 of Cups, I feel like there's that tsunami of emotions that kind of came in, Divine Feminine. And here he is sitting in this state of like, oh my God, what did I do? I played games and I went out and had fun and partied, and you know, it was all fun and games until I got stabbed in the heart, and now I got to sit with this regret. So I do feel this energy of about 4 years ago there was third party interference and the masculine went into a karmic cycle, and now he's having to sit in that heaviness, and he's the one holding all of the heaviness to this missed opportunity. And then there he is going within the Hermit, the Woodward, and receiving this, I feel this ancestral wisdom, the Hierophant, the ancestor. So I feel a lot of ancestral wisdom. And then I picked up the deck, and this was still left there. The Six of Vessels, a reunion. The Page of Arrows in reverse, the Page of Swords in reverse, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and the Six of Swords in reverse. So what I see here is he is all up in his feelings, remembering the past life memories, a lot of memories, and I feel he's watching you or has people watching you for him. With the Page of Swords in reverse, there's people chirping in his ear. There could be gossip, there could be slander. But he's sitting there in a situation where I feel there's been like some type of exposure of cheating or dishonesty, and still not completely moving on from that. So self-deception, man, self-denial and self-deception. I think those are definitely a lot of regrets that some of us have to kind of live with. So let's dig into the Divine Masculine today first. There's the ancestor right out the gate. Bottom of the deck, the Two of Wands, which is what I felt is the crossroads. Like, he's going through a rebirth by fire. He's put off making this decision for so long, and I feel the ancestors have kind of sounded the alarm. It looks like, you know, it kind of looks like half human, half it looks like a stag, or you know, a male deer, and he's banged the drum, like he sounded the alarm. And then there we go, we got the Green Man in reversed, and so that is the Emperor in reverse. That is the fall of the ego. And then we get the Ten of Wands in reversed, or the ten of Bows in reverse. And so the masculine has kind of shirked all of these responsibilities, right? And so what do we got here? We got the Arrow of Kings in reverse, the Wanderer reversed, the Fool reversed, and the King of Vessels. And so there's that fox. There's that fox. So the King of Swords in reversed. So there's the masculine lying about how much he regrets this missed opportunity. I do feel he's lying about how foolish he is feeling about the missed opportunity. It's a hard reset. It's a hard reset. And I do feel he's all up in his feelings over you, over the fact that he was a Knight of Wands and he was a little fox, right? He come in and played the game. And so this is leading to that past betrayal coming back to be dealt with, because he can't move on until this book is finally closed. Lack of truth, lack of instruction, and I do feel like it's heavy. It's heavy. He's in a state of healing, is what it feels like. So let's see if there's anything else that needs to come through for the masculine today. Well, looky here, looky here. We get the Divine Feminine on the bottom of the deck, upright. And so we get the Ten of Stone in reverse. So I do feel that false home is done. I do feel somebody's packing up and leaving home, because I do feel there's manipulation there. We got the Magician reversed, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, Virgo, Gemini energy. The masculine could be dealing with a Virgo or a Gemini, but he's resisted stepping into being his own inner shaman. There's, I feel, no success. This could be total financial ruin. And then what do we get in this pile? So we get the Eight of Stones. So this is putting in the work, mastering our skills, our psychic abilities. And then this is kind of what fell on top of it that we didn't see. the wheel reverse. So the masculine's been so focused on work, 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 work. I do feel he's been keeping his foot stuck in the wheel when it comes to the transformation. He's been avoiding this death process. And so I feel the masculine might be coming into a huge job loss in order to force him into a state of rest, to go into this heart healing, right? And we get the Ace of Cups, the waters of life with the stag, with the Strength card, the 8 energy, with the Page of Airs reversed. He is watching you. He is watching you, not talking. There's lots of people watching you, not talking. There's a lot of talk. There's a lot of gossip. There's a lot of people chirping. And I feel the masculine is having a hard time finding his spiritual strength. And what are they talking about? They're talking about the Empress. And how the masculine got blasted out of the water. How the masculine walked away from the feminine for a Queen of Wands in reversed. Oh, wow. So I do feel, yeah, the masculine's been blasted right out of that comfort zone. He's right in a lot of regret. And I feel he doesn't want to deal with that Queen of Wands in reversed anymore. She's very challenging, but I feel clearance for the masculine to go into the Hermit energy, into that wise inner chamber of darkness in order to find that spark for life again. And so the Karmic energy, the Queen of Wands in reverse, did serve as that mirror in that third party contract, right? She did. She served as that mirror. And so, and now we have the Knight of Arrows. And so I do feel quickly departing that situation because, let's face it, it wasn't wish fulfillment. It wasn't wish fulfillment. It didn't have the hearth that a home needs. And so over here, that landed on all of this, the Ten of Swords in reverse, the Betrayal, the Fox, the Knight of Wands, and the Seven of Stones healing. We got the Lovers reversed. Wow. And the Nine of Bows reversed. And so that is that wounded healer. So, like the Lovers reversed, let's face it, that was a bad choice, an unwise choice in Lovers. And I do feel, you know, the masculine has lost a lot of respect from people within the community. I feel like it's this energy of they're feasting on him is kind of what it feels like. So let's see what needs to come through for the feminine real quick. What do we have for time? We're at about 5 to 10 here. So we'll get a couple last messages for the feminine. There's that 5 of Cups. The feminines definitely went in, and I feel had to go into feeling a little bit off kilter, a little bit off balance, and you were deep in some emotions or will be, but then this is going to bring the crossroads. And I feel the feminine just isn't really interested in investing anymore in anything from the past. So yeah, there she is. There's the feminine landed right on this pile of Lovers reversed and all of this. So that's for the feminine. I don't even want to put in the work on this anymore. I know for me, I had to sit with that, and I looked at the entire situation. Divine connection, twin flame, soulmate, counterpart, whatever you want to call it. I did not deserve what that man did to me, what he put me through, and I no longer want to invest in somebody that was never willing to invest in me. And that's where I'm at. That doesn't have to be yours. And so look at, and all of those cards fell out again. That's interesting. All of those cards fell out again. So the feminine is just putting one foot in front of the other. I'm all done waiting for an apology. That's never going to come. 4 years in the waiting. Huge message that was not my counterpart. That was a true blue covert narcissist. And so the divine is telling me, cover that cup. That's what I think the feminine's being told. I don't even think you know the abundance that's coming in. You need to follow your wise counsel. You need to protect your energy. You hold the keys. I feel all done investing in something that was not wish fulfillment, and something that, you know, brought me to my knees and took me down. I feel the feminine's integrated and faced her shadow self, her inner demons, Aquarian energy, Capricorn. And I think the feminine, all she wants now is karmic justice to be played out, the energy of Mott. And so I feel as the feminine reaches alignment, do get ready for unexpected communication. And I think he's coming in saying he wants to work on things, but you're going to have to trust in your intuition, in your inner guidance, your gut. The high priestess knows. You already have the answers, divine feminine. I do think it's time to put this to bed. So I do feel there's likely going to be communication in order to bring healing, to put the past heartbreak to bed. But I really don't see a new beginning here. And maybe that's what it's going to take for the counterpart to rise up. And maybe, you know, be a better person to the next lover. That was another song that was really in my head the last couple days. Send my love to your new lover. Treat her better than you treated me. I hope you learned your lesson, right? So Aries energy. I do feel once the feminine releases what could have been, the coulda, shoulda, wouldas, let's face it, this is where we're at. None of that transpired. The second you release that false energy, I do feel a true masculine is coming forward as you close out this cycle and you heal your heart, because it was very painful. And that cycle was not wish fulfillment. Let's face it, these masculines did not treat us and value us the way we deserved. And so I feel the feminine is like, I'm not taking one more step towards this anymore. I'm all done. I'm cutting it out. There's that double-edged sword. You're my ex, and let's keep it at that. You brought me nothing but, you know, grief, sorrow, darkness, and sadness. And I want my 10 of Cups. I want equal giving and receiving, and I'm all done dealing with liars, cheaters, and thieves. And that's going to bring the feminine a connection that will honor her, is what it feels like today. So guys, I hope that helped. I hope that resonated. Oh my God, 51 minutes already. I'm going to have to let you go. I got a couple of clients booked today. If you would like to book in, I still have my flash sale on. Check out the information box below. Send me an email. We can get that booked in. And I hope to see you all again next time. Thank you.